Three, two, one, and hiya, pugs. It's Colin. We are here live on our Designer Spotlight Black Friday edition, November 27th, 2020. And with me today, I'm really excited. Well, first of all, I want to say Karen could not be here today. Karen had a medical procedure, so nothing major, but something that if you could all keep her in your thoughts, it would be great. So anyway, today my guest is Jenna Gaidusek. She is the founder and CEO and just awesome person of the eDesign tribe and eDesign platform and eDesignU. Jenna and I met, I don't even know how long ago now. It was probably, is it a year?
I feel like probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's with COVID, who knows? It's just time just is amorphous right now. So welcome, Jenna. And I would like to, if you would, just kind of give everybody a, actually, no, the first thing I wanted to do is, just because I know a little factoid about you, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Yeah. So everybody, Jenna's husband is a chef. So I know people who have chefs in the family tend to have really good meals. So I'm guessing your meal was pretty special.
Oh yeah, and I didn't have to do a thing.
Of course, that's the beauty of it. That's what's his specialty? Does he have one?
Oh my God, just everything. I mean, everything was literally on point this year.
Yeah.
He can cook meat to perfection every single time. So the mashed potatoes and the stuffing, oh my God, it was all awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and carving the bird, they're like so professional at carving the bird. It's like, okay. Here's everybody. Here you go. It's like five minutes. Me, I'm like,
like
that slice is too thick. I gotta try and slice that up. Anyway. So so good. So was it just your immediate family, or yeah?
It's we zoomed with everybody and did that, but it was nice. It was low key. I did some shopping. Yeah, for the new house, so that was cool.
Yes, and that is so cool. You are in the process of buying a new house, a new construction house, right?
Yeah.
When are you closing?
At the end of January. It's going up really fast.
That is fast.
He was prepared. He bought everything in advance, which is cool. So because it's a big neighborhood that they're doing all at the same time. So this is actually our first house that we're buying, because my husband and I, we've been together for 11 years and we've lived in 5 states, and this will be our 14th house together that we've lived in. So we're finally settling in Gainesville, Florida. Who knew?
Yeah, of all places. And you're from Vermont originally?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, up in my neck of the woods.
Yeah. All my family's in New Hampshire. So
yeah, neat. So anyway, sorry, I just wanted to ask you about your Thanksgiving, because I knew your husband's a chef, and I have a good family friend that's a chef, and they invited us over for Thanksgiving, and because of COVID, we didn't go. So that's okay.
Well, I hope yours was nice.
It was actually. It was pretty good. Thank you. So can you tell me a little bit about, just kind of the Reader's Digest version of your career, and then how you got to the eDesign tribe, and then the eDesign, because the chronology was eDesign tribe, and then eDesignU, and then the eDesign platform, right? The kind of in that order. Okay.
Yeah.
And because there was definitely an evolution there, you can see.
Yeah. I didn't start out to, I didn't get a degree in technology or anything. I have a degree in interior design, and I got that in 2010. I worked for a furniture company, worked my way up management. It was corporate, moved around from Louisville over to Indianapolis, back up to New York and the Bronx. We lived there for a while, and I just couldn't work for somebody else's money anymore. And I wasn't designing anymore. I didn't feel like I was using my degree, and I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. So I started, while I was working at this other job, I started doing online design with, back then, Laurel and Wolf, because in 2015, that's what was out there. And they paid their designers a little bit more than they did at the end. But I started working with them, started getting a lot of projects, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is where the future is. And I was working in the trade department in New York, and for this other company I worked for, and I got a call from Home Polish. All these are out of business now, but Home Polish, and they were like, so we do this online design thing, we want to set up an account with you. And I was like, ooh, tell me more. And they I was like, this is the future. I remember saying it to the woman on the phone. I was like, this is the future of design. People will be designing online. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. I knew Photoshop, had to dust off my skills because I hadn't used them in 5 years. And so with the support of my husband, I quit, boyfriend at the time, quit my job and worked from home, started taking these projects, working endless hours, and got very lonely because, you know, he was still working in the city and commuting and rarely saw him. We ended up having our daughter in the meantime. And so I was working from home with a newborn baby, endless hours, because that's how I had to pay the bills or choose which bills I was going to be paying that month. And then I was like, I can't keep working for these online design companies for nothing. So I really focused on building my own. And then with that, on social media, I was getting all these questions from designers like, how are you doing your concept boards? How are you doing these renders? And even at one point when I was exploring like more of a photorealistic version, because you know, back in 2015, our renders were 2D plus concept boards that we would make in Photoshop and call it a render, which it wasn't, you know. So I started using a free version of 2020 that I found online, and then photoshopping product into the room after I built an empty room and then dropped everything in there in Photoshop. So I was getting all these inquiries from people and they're like, how are you doing this? And I was like, all right, I got to start a group. I'm lonely. I can never leave my house because I'm building this and I have a kid. So I started a Facebook group, eDesign Tribe, in 2018. And I actually am a pretty big introvert where I just like was terrified to do this, but I was pushed to do it from a small mastermind that I was in. And they were like, you have to. You see this need, it doesn't exist. The only places that did exist at the time were run by furniture companies or people that were there to profit off of us. So I, no strings attached, wanted a group of people in a positive place and started eDesign Tribe and then just built this community all word of mouth. We're up to about 3,500 now. So at this time, I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I should probably teach them something too. I went live every single day. And in the meantime, I had also built my first course, which was called eDesign Freedom Revolution, because we all wanted the freedom. And we had to like really figure it out for ourselves. So I started with that, got like 32 students. It was my 30th birthday weekend. And I was like, all right, this is cool. Let's keep doing this. So over time, eDesignU evolved into, that course evolved into eDesignU. And now we have, oh my gosh, like 18 different courses, 6 of which are mine. And then Colin, you got your 2020 platform course on there, you know, like just different things that I don't teach. And I wanted to pull other experts to create their own material too. So after eDesignU, I was like, well, there's no great rendering program out there that competes with the Modzies of the world that are like reducing the price to nothing. And for actual interior designers that are trying to establish themselves, you can't compete with that. So, or you have to spend so much money on a program to be able to do it and have a nice computer. So I started looking for rendering software that designers could use and could actually like whip up some beautiful designs with. And then that's how the eDesign platform came to be, along with this program that I developed called Design in 5. And it basically creates quick clickable shopping lists that you can either link over to an affiliate to earn passive income or to an invoice for the products that you're selling in your renders or concept boards or whatever. So that's longer than the Reader Digest version.
No, it's not. It's actually, no, we're only 8 minutes in. So that's perfect. Right. Yeah. No, I know it felt like a lot because, you know, there's a lot to unpack, but you know, it's what's great about it is you just did it kind of organically. It was completely organic. It was, you know, as the need arose, you were able to, you know, go ahead and you know, offer people what they needed while giving yourself what you needed. Right. And that's a great way of doing it. So talk a little bit more about the eDesign platform, because I know some of the members have seen some of the results of that. And one of probably the most prolific kitchen designers that I know of, Bridget Mercado, is a member here, and she's a member in the eDesign tribe. And she actually was on the show a few weeks ago, and she, was she one of the first people to figure out how to bridge 2020 to design something in 2020, get all your cabinets, your countertops, your moldings, your everything, kind of the stuff that you need in order to sell the project, product wise, but then take those shapes, which that's the beauty of 2020. It has when you put a cabinet in, it also puts in the price and all that stuff, and then bring it through, it does have to go through SketchUp in order to go into the platform, as does anything from any other source, really. It has to go through, you can do it from Chief Architect, can do it from, I don't know why I always forget the name of the Revit. You can,
I forget that too. I
always forget the name of Revit. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Definitely not Reddit. Well, there might be a Reddit thread on Revit, but anyway. And then AutoCAD, all these other sources, and you can bring it into the platform. But what was the evolution of that? Who said, aha, I can do this?
Well, it wasn't me, because I'm not a kitchen and bath designer, and I'm so envious of you all that are, but I have no patience for details. So that's why just my career path never took me there. But man, you guys can create some seriously cool stuff. So I knew that SketchUp was the way that we had to bring in files. So I hired Sarah Journay, who is an incredible virtual artist, virtual runner, and interior designer. So she has had her business for 8 years as a virtual design assistant. And I was like, your work is incredible. You have to be my director of 3D modeling, because I don't know SketchUp. I learned it in college, but I don't know this. So she at first was like, all right, well, let's figure out how we can start making kitchens and baths, because I didn't start this platform for kitchens and baths. It just kind of went that way because there was a demand for it. So I started it for, just eDesign in general, like virtual decorating more so. So when it came down to like the technical, the programs, like 2020 Chief Architect, they just weren't as photorealistic as what can be produced on the platform in literally under 4 minutes.
Right.
So between Sarah and then when Bridget brought in her expertise with 2020, when they kind of started talking about like, this is how you have to convert the files and export and whatever and bring it in, that's when it really started to take off. And Bridget is amazing at doing this. Like oh my gosh, I look at her kitchens and I'm like, is that a photo or is that a render? And I still can't tell. But so she really is the 2020 plus platform ambassador along with you, Colin. But it's using both programs to their strengths. Right. And if you can build whatever you need to build in 2020, and then you just kind of export the models, add them to your library, and then render them in there, then you have an incredibly photorealistic, not photo perfect, but photorealistic design space.
Yeah. And, and you do have to export quite a bit from 2020, or you do have to find it in the SketchUp 3D warehouse, because, it's not designed as a kitchen and bath program. You do have to bring in a lot of the other stuff as well, besides just cabinets and countertops. You do have to bring in, a dishwasher. You do have to bring in a range or a cooktop or an oven, which is okay, because when you export a block of stuff, or a chunk, as Sarah would call it, when you export a chunk of stuff from 2020, if you leave your appliances in there, they'll go too. And it's just a matter of, it's not, I don't want to paint a rosy picture. It's not, so as Jenna said, it renders quickly, but there is behind the scenes work that needs to be done before you take that 2020 design and you have a render in the photorealistic render in the platform. But it's like any muscle. Once you build that muscle and you're getting that bridge, then it's much faster. It's something that I wish I had time to, I don't, and I'm going to spend more time on it in the new year, just because I've always been just a complete geek about photorealism. And, you know, it's one of the reasons I am skilled at 2020 the way I am, because I needed to know how to make that look more photorealistic. And if I could just tweak it, and I'd spend an hour on a light fixture, just trying to get a light fixture to emit light, which, by the way, folks, it's much easier to get lights to emit light from on the platform than it is on 2020. And I've actually shown in other 2020 classes how to make take a SketchUp fixture, bring it into 2020, and then add a light source to it. But it's still not the same. It's like boom, you just make that bulb emit light in the platform, and hey, guess what? It's a light. Yeah. So it does make life much easier. And, you know, 2020, to their credit, has, you know, they have their easy rendering engine now, which is a little bit better in many ways as far as photorealism goes, and a little bit easier. But, you know, it really depends on your clientele. It depends on what you're, you know, if you're a designer that is paid to do design and to give people renders, but you also are most likely to sell the product, that's the perfect scenario for, you know, using 2020 and the platform together in one, you know, in one project, because and that's what Bridget does a fair amount of. You know, she has clients that she can potentially sell the product and sell the design to. So, you know, it uses the strengths of both products, and it doesn't diminish 2020 at all. It's just a matter of, you know, 2020 has certain limitations, you know, because you are putting in something that has a 3D shape, or a bunch of 3D shapes that create the cabinet. It has a 2D shape on the floor plan. It has database entries for all of the prices, for all the different price levels. So, you know, it does a lot, and you can, you know, use 2020 to its strengths and then use something like the platform to its strengths. So I've probably said too much about that at this point, but, you know, it's true. It's what, you know, we were talking before we went live about how, you know, realism is just, you know, people are demanding more and more realism. And I wish we knew who said, Jenna had quoted somebody that she saw in our group on a comment, that's photorealism, not photo perfection. And if that person happens to watch this and just could reach out or comment, it would be great, just so that we know that, you know, that is great. But you know, this just is another tool in your toolkit that can help you with, you know, selling the project. And, you know, I've always been a big proponent of giving people renderings, even if it took me, you know, 30 minutes extra, 45 minutes extra, in order to make a rendering more realistic. I firmly believe that has sold more projects where I've sold the cabinetry, because a lot of people in our industry are working in home centers, working in places where they have volume. They have to sell a certain volume, and the platform is probably not for them, just because of the additional time that's necessary. But you know, being able to do a photorealistic rendering can definitely help sell the job, for sure.
I mean, you gotta keep up with the Joneses, right? So, like, this is what's out there now, and this is what people are doing, and the more real, the better. And it just helps you to sell your services too, right? Because they're shopping you, like, people are shopping you like a product to see how realistic it is. When it all comes down to it, it doesn't matter. We know that. Right. It's a render does not mean that it's a good design, and anybody can render. But when you can render and do it well, and then show the client as realistically as possible, you're going to have, you know, repeat business, you're going to have referral business, and you're going to have a super happy client that can also send you after pictures. So you can do side by sides and be like, on point, you know, this was exactly what I rendered.
Yeah. It's so much fun, and especially with as detailed as designs are getting, with, you know, all of your tile textures and all of your countertop textures and the metals. I mean, the metals are just so important to get the metals right. And
reflection, you know, you could be looking at glass. I was looking we're doing this little show house.
Yeah, I was gonna get to, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Little, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, so I'm looking at all the details, you know, because it's launching next week, and I'm looking at these glass vase, lamps in the living room, and I'm like, I can see the other side in the reflection. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
That like it literally is picking up all the little details that you would see in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only gonna get better. Like this is only gonna get even more realistic as we go.
Yeah. But that's also the stuff that brings the software to its knees, you know, when rendering. And that's where, you know, the difference between, so just to give folks that don't know a lot about Live, 2020 Design Live, there's a lot of confusion about what's cloud-based and what's not. It's really just cabinet catalogs that are cloud-based, and there are more appliance catalogs and things like that that are cloud-based. Everything's still done locally on your computer. So when you're rendering, you still need a computer that has a fair, you know, amount of power as far as processing power, as far as RAM memory, as far as a video card. So you still are doing that all locally. The platform renders it in the cloud. It's all in the cloud. It's all of they have, you know, all of the technology behind the platform is kept up to date and is the fastest computing. And you know, you can do a 4K rendering in 4 minutes or so, and you're not sitting there waiting for it to do it. You just kind of like move on to something else, and then you go back 4 minutes later and it's ready. And the big thing is panoramas. You know, so 2020 does 360 panoramas, but to date, even with the new Easy Render, which is a faster rendering engine, it still takes a while. And the main reason for that is it's actually transmitting to 2020 servers. It's taking little chunks of the render and uploading it to 2020 servers. And that's what takes a lot of time. In the platform, everything's done in the cloud. Yeah. So you can get how long do the 360s take in a more complex room?
So like 5 minutes.
Still not very long.
The ultras are longer. If you get 16K, which is what we can run from like our main admin, and that you're going to see in the show house, those take 24 hours, which is the longest time frame. But oh my God, the detail. You're going to see
16K that's above what the human eye can register.
Yeah,
you know that, right? Yeah, the human eye can only register between 4 and 8K. So 4 and 8K TVs, you know, it's like you're seeing as close to reality as your eyes can possibly see. So yeah, that's just amazing. That really, I can't wait to see that. I really can't. And the other thing I want to say, and then I want to get a little bit more to the show house, if you don't mind, is that you can do 720s. Which is essentially two 360s that are kind of interconnected. Is that right? There's
as many 360. Well, there's a cap. We found out.
So
there's a cap on how many you can include. But you can. So basically, if you take a 360 view, you're standing there, the camera circles, you look up, look down, whatever, and then you walk to the other corner, and then you can walk to the other corner. Okay, so every time you stand and capture a 360, you can then seam them together to create a 720. So that's when you can walk and advance in the space.
Yeah, and that's something that 2020 can't do yet natively. You know, you can go there. There are you know, external products that are available that you can use to create something similar to that, but it's not really the same thing. Too. I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that really, I mean, it does benefit everybody, but as far as the native products, it mostly benefits interior designers just because it's geared towards interior designers. And you know, I've talked to a few. And you know, those that are interior designers that also do kitchens, this is a great conversation for you to listen to. But you can still, so those links can also be, those can be anything, right? Any affiliate link, any, you know, so, you know, that's something that this segment of the industry knows very little to nothing about. And, you know, what I'd like to start, you know, getting out in people's heads is, you know, as you start doing more remote things, it's harder for us to do, you know, eDesign in the kitchen industry is a lot more difficult than interior design. And that's because mostly because we are dealing with walls that are 15 feet 2 3/4 inches and 12 feet 7 3/8 inches.
Yeah.
All you need to really know for most interior design spaces is it's about 15.5 by 12.5 feet. As long as you have that, you're good. But with cabinets, where you're fitting it between walls, and that's where I think it becomes a little bit different, is the amount of precision that's necessary in order to design a kitchen space. So, but there are people that are doing it. You've got Jess and Cass, who are they're doing eDesign, and they have a course, by the way, in the eDesignU that talks about
they're hosting
that's
it
right
now,
that's moved that's right they're hosting it themselves. But that teaches about eDesign for kitchen and bath designers, and more people are doing it. We have I don't know if you've ever met Justine. She's out in Seattle. She actually just launched a website. She was on our show a few weeks ago. She just launched a website where she has about 12 or 16 curated packages where she's selling, this look or this look or this look. It's kind of like a shop the look type thing where, it's a whole package where she's providing the design. And then if you're in the proper area, she can also provide the cabinetry. So it's starting to be a little bit more doable than it used to be.
A little bit more. I'm working on some stuff.
I know, I've heard.
You actually haven't heard.
I've heard you're working on some stuff. That's all I've heard. But so it's something that's really in its infancy for this industry. But the big thing that you have as an eDesigner is affiliates. And you can be an affiliate for so many different things. Now we can, as kitchen and bath designers now, it's just a lot of people don't know about it. Like, for example, you can have an affiliate relationship with build.com, and you can recommend faucets and sinks and toilets and anything and everything, and get paid a commission. Now build.com happens to be one of the smaller ones out there. Most of these are much lower profit products, so there's not a lot of meat on the bone, but still,
if you don't have to do a thing to order it.
Exactly, you don't have to do anything. That's right. And it's a lot of it's higher ticket items. So $1,000 faucet, that 2 or 3% really adds up. So that's something that you can also do on the platform, is you can have these hotspots. And I think Bridget demoed that when we did her live. I think she demoed that a little bit.
Well, I built that part. So this is exclusive to my platform.
Right.
It's not anywhere else. I developed it out. So right now we have a few of our own products. I'm bringing on a lot more brands in 2021. The onboarding process and the model building process is basically what's just been the holdup, because you got to build. I mean, I just got this one cabinet company that we're hopefully launching our affiliate program with that actually ships all across the country. And is made in Florida. So when those cabinets and affiliate program come out, that's, we're looking at probably close to 3,000 product models that have to be developed.
Right.
So the amount of time that it's going to take, because it's not just cabinets, you guys need all the details, right? Yeah. Then it'll export your bill of material, which you can then link over to the shopping list in Design in 5. So we're building this, and it'll be automatic. So you guys don't even have to worry about the importing, but that's what's on deck for 2021.
Yeah,
we just
that's
had to
awesome.
get there. Yeah. And flooring, Rebel Woods, we're bringing them on. They're launching an exclusive line for us, which is actually an air purifying floor line. And you're going to see it in the show house too. And it's exclusive to the eDesign platform and our users, and all the sales that go through that are affiliate based. So they will kind of like walk your client through stuff, and you just need to source it in your render, and it'll only go to our exclusive program. So I'm looking for things that just haven't been done before, because the industry needs it. Not everybody wants to manage product, especially during COVID. Like, what a nightmare it's been. So affiliates, we're going that route.
Yeah, definitely. And for those that don't know what an affiliate is, just to bring it first full circle, you are not ordering, inventorying, shipping, invoicing, nothing. It's literally hands off. Once you make the connection, the company that offers the affiliate program is taking the ball and running with it. And you will get a report at the end of every month. Is it a month? Or,
yeah.
That tells you what your purchases have been, and then the payouts are, depends on the affiliate program, but there are payouts, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever. It depends on the affiliate, but it's completely hands off, and it can be completely passive. So if you have a website with particularly good traffic, your SEO is good, you have a lot of people getting to your website, and you take one of your favorite projects and put up a 360 or 720, and people are just finding it organically, and they'll go, oh, that's a really neat faucet. And they'll go, oh, I can buy it. Okay. Yeah. Impulse buy, and then boom, it's completely passive at that point.
Yep. And you probably wouldn't do that with your clients' projects that they paid you for, but you can do whatever. And that's why I do a lot of contests where it's just generic rooms that you can design yourself. So you have the template for it, and it's not a client project, but then you can make it shoppable, put it on your blog, whatever it is. It not only helps you to drive traffic to it because you're promoting it on social media and getting your name out there, which, either they're going to purchase one or two items like you just said, and you're going to earn that passive commission on it, or they're going to hire you because they're like, her work is fire and I need her in my life. So they're going to hire you for the one-on-one service. It's win-win.
Yeah. All right. So great. So I think everybody should have a pretty decent handle on it. Anybody that wants any additional information, just go to eDesignTribe.com. Right. And then
eDesignU.com is for consumer facing. eDesign Tribe is now, eDesignU is for designer facing, or any design professional. And then eDesign Tribe is more consumer facing.
Okay. But still, it's probably good to go get an idea of what the designers that are part of the eDesign Tribe are providing. Their output is
Go check out
important
Bridget.
too.
Her work is beautiful.
Of course it is. She was on the front. She was on the front page, like just below the fold. Last time I was there.
I had my
yeah. So, tell us about this behemoth that you're working on.
Okay.
So it's and it's funny. I feel bad because it's billed as the first of its kind ever. And then Architectural Digest comes behind like a couple weeks later and says, this is the first ever. So I'm like, oh, people suck. But anyway, it's not okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Good. I'm looking forward to seeing the difference. Yeah. So anyway,
cool.
I'll
but also Architectural Digest, it was beautiful. It was very nice, and everybody's looking to be innovative right now in the way that we're doing things.
And actually, Architectural Digest is a completely different thing because it is elevating the Black community and specifically.
The Obsidian project.
I don't know what it's called, but it's the Black Designers Network, I think, is the one that I saw. And it was a show house that the Black Designers Network is working on. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'll let you.
So we've been working on this now for 6 or 7 months in the making, and it's a 20,000 square foot Malibu mansion located on, I guess it's called Billionaire Row. It's like a real plot of land. We designed this based off of Seasonal Living CEO Gary Pettit's vision for a post-COVID, wellness home to showcase designers and brands alike. So they have 11 designers and 15 brands that were included in this. And basically the designers each designed a room in the house, and the house was built and designed by Sarah Jernay and Annalie Waterman, who are both on my eDesign Tribe team, part of the render support team. They're active interior designers.
Sarah's listening, by the way, because she's watching, because she did comment.
See you in our meeting in 20 minutes. So they designed this, from scratch. Annalie built the exterior and chief architect and did like the flyovers for the outside. Then Sarah built everything inside and every single model in SketchUp. One bookshelf in this dining room has 100 models in it.
That's
okay,
crazy.
So the vendors, the sponsors from it, I think Sarah modeled something close to 800 models that the designers had selected for their spaces. and were based off of their catalog. So they shopped their catalog, made, the Robin Baron has a Zoom room. So now we're having Zoom rooms in the house for a post-COVID world. The laundry room was Rachel Morinardi. Sorry if I cannot say anybody's name, but her laundry room is gorgeous too, and super functional for, a wellness space in COVID. There's a wellness room that has a nice, I'm not gonna give it away, but it's beautiful. And so the thought that went into this, they had no restrictions. They could design whatever they wanted to because it's virtual. Everything is virtual, but they made it as functional as humanly possible in a world that's very different than what it was a year ago. So it's going to be really a fun experience. So it's releasing December 3rd. You all are invited. I can give you the registration link if you want later. It's going to be an event that Luann Nagara is hosting that evening, and she'll kind of show you around how to navigate. Then you'll be free to roam inside. And we've also added augmented reality to it for a lot of products too that we had custom made. So I was like, how do I create, because this didn't exist. So I was like, how can we basically take these AR products and make them connect to the product that you're seeing? So QR codes are how we did that. So as you're walking through, you can, you'll want to watch this on a big monitor. You're going to want to tour this on a computer screen, have your phone handy, and then basically all you do is hold your phone up, read that QR code, and then for some of the products, there's like 50 products that you can then follow through and then see it in your space. So my daughter is 4 and is addicted to AR products and QR codes now. I created a monster. But, and then I had my husband in the virtual reality. So we put on a headset, you can tour this in the headset. And he's like, this is so cool. I could literally spend the next hour in here just walking around this house. So this is fully immersive in the way that you can, experience it, or you can just look at it on your computer and it's still beautiful. It's 16K. It's going to be the highest quality here. So we're super excited. It'll be really cool.
It sounds super cool. And it's funny. I've told several people about it, and they can't seem to get their heads around it. They can't. It's just, and I guess, I had mentioned in one of Leslie's posts that I was surprised that there were no cabinet sponsors. And she said, it's because they couldn't see the vision. And I can understand that, because people in my industry that I explain it to can't figure it out. But I'm like, they have to get their heads out of their butts and and understand it, because
the more that we can model and then put on the platform, the more cabinets they're going to sell, because there's a need for it. Like literally all you do on the platform is drag and drop from the product libraries. When we put all of the models into our enterprise library, designers are going to source those things like you've never seen before. So it's hard to explain that without a visual, because Gary's vision for this was so ahead of the curve. Even though it's coming out after that other one, we've been working on this for so long, and there's so much involved to really make it very unique in this way.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And it's less than a week away.
I know. I gotta run. Actually, I gotta have my final
Thursday. Is it next Thursday? Yeah. All right. So I'm not gonna make you squirm, because I know you have that meeting right after this.
Yeah.
So go take a Xanax. No, kidding.
Yeah, right. No, it's good. We're looking good.
But no, thank you for being here. This was so much fun. This was I was looking forward to this, because you're my idol. I just what you've done with your community. It's funny. We were talking before this, and I don't mind revealing this to people because I think they'll understand it. I looked at your community. I'm like, everybody's so positive and happy, and in our community, we are too. We're polite, but it's the folks at 2020 that watch this might not ultimately like hearing this, and it might make them squirm. But most people come here pissed off at 2020. They come to this group pissed off at 2020, and they need to know how to do a workaround. And you know, I'm not telling 2020 anything they don't know. So we're starting our conversations pissed off. And I want to change that. And I thought that, you know, this venue, this you know, weekly designer spotlight is very positive. And, you know, it's, you know, I like to, and I like that people share their renderings, and, you know, that's always very positive. But, you know, I figured out recently that that's the difference in the vibe. So I just need to change the vibe. And I think that your being here today is going to help start that.
Cool.
And, you know, because your energy is amazing, and just really happy for you for what you've built and what you continue to build. And I'm happy to be any part of it that I possibly can. I am wearing my...
Get out of here! Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
You haven't seen that one yet? Oh, this one's awesome. It's like the heather blue, and it's got that logo that you have on your shirt on the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So yeah. So I'm in the tribe. This is proof. I'm in the tribe.
They're comfy though. I wear these every
super
day. So
comfy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want every shirt in my wardrobe to feel like this. It would.
Mine is getting that way.
I'm just gonna have to buy more eDesign Tribe shirts. That's all.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Jenna, for being here. I know that you are so extremely busy, and I really, really appreciate that you taking the time to hang out with us for you know, almost 45 minutes. So thank you. Good luck with your meeting with the show house stuff, and say hey to, well, I'm saying hey to Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Say hey to Sarah and Emily and everybody for me. And maybe we can chat again when things calm down a little bit.
For sure. I'd love to. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to just stop the stream, and then we will, where am I? Okay. Bye, everybody. See you soon.